And we are back, people.
How's it going, you guys?
Yep, you already know who we are by now, and welcome to another BBTAG
Now
podcast.
we're happy to reintroduce ourselves.
If you don't know who we are, go back to the first episode.
You can go into the very first, to the very beginning of the podcast where we introduced ourselves, and then you can go back to the current podcast we're doing now.
Or if you're curious about how things all started, go right ahead and watch through the whole thing. I will be playlisting every single podcast episode up through this point, and this is going to become a regular thing with this game.
It's becoming a regular thing for both of us.
But this time, we're actually going to be discussing the metagame and what we feel makes it what it is.
The Metagame is actually kind of like a huge bandwagon for most BBTAG players.
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem. And in my opinion, I can see where people are coming from on this, but the game is getting a little bit stale overall. And that's actually another thing. Why do we have to start off with one of the most garbage themes in Central Fiction?
Because, fuck you, that's fine.
This is the case of being too heavy metal, I'm sorry.
I'm guessing this is probably 9's theme or something.
Yep, it's nines.
I kind of not coming in. I can point out how many checkdowns for fucking Batista is when Brazia died in his leg.
That's really hard to get. Smack.
There we go.
But as a whole, like, to me, the metagame is what makes BBTAG a little bit boring at times.
That's probably it doesn't get no time. No. There, not again.
I could have swore I warned you about that.
She just, I like how it says, fuck you to everybody.
But as a whole, like, the metagame is three things in my opinion for the most part. Assists that you can just throw out in neutral and they just work. Cross combo pressures / sandwiches and whatnot. Cross combos in general. And resonance level 4 comebacks. Especially cross combos. A lot of people feel that the way cross combos were designed in this game is what makes the metagame so stale.
People are just fucking bandwagoning it.
And most people are getting sick and tired of it, to be honest. And as far as the cross combo mechanic is, even I will admit there's a lot about it that is ridiculous. You gotta be kidding me. Speak of the devil.
But what do you know?
Speaking of cross combos in the metagame, this is a perfect example. This is also honestly one of the rare cases where I would actually put Hyde in front. Smart move. You never want to start with Rachel on the front, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the rare cases where Hyde being in the front could actually work.
Hyde on point?
Yeah, Hyde and Jen.
Oh yeah, it's right,
Jin's assists are actually really good, but he's more of a resonance anchor if anything. And not to mention, Hyde can do both, as I mentioned before. As I mentioned literally in the last episode, even though he does prefer the assist role, he can do both. That's what makes him so good. Okay, let's see if I remember how to do this. Wee! Wrong one.
Ack. Ah.
Really?
That is an eye for me.
Really?
Damn it. There we go. Simple back.
Why am I pressing 4A when most of the 4As in this game are garbage? That was beautiful. God damn it. Ugh. I was playing like shit there. God damn. Why is it that when I try to do the cool shit with Jin, I can never land a hit? But whenever I just throw out togas at random, I always seem to hit with one?
I just like how I just basically just said no to you. Just like,
God, I was playing like ass there, I'm not gonna lie.
no.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh my god.
That's the second time, and it's only been 3 games. No words?
Volume warning.
Oh my god, that's beautiful. But, to be honest, just to talk a little bit more about what we were saying beforehand, most of the time you're going to be seeing, like, Hyde, Mai, Aurier, S, of course, Ruby Gordeau, sometimes Jin. It's honestly mostly the same characters just because they all have the same stuff. Cross-combo sandwiching, cross-combo pressure in general is especially, to a lot of people, one of the biggest mistakes about the game, primarily because of how Gordeau can do active switch in bowl and create an invincible Grim Reaper situation. So again, a lot of people feel like the cross-combo design in this game is a big mistake.
Oh shit.
Every time, and I tried to DP there. No. I was expecting the DP.
Drink.
I would have laughed if that actually just went up and hit you. Ouch. Jesus. Don't miss. Proceeds to miss.
Ah, that's pretty bad fight. Okay.
That was beautiful.
Okay.
I can't even be mad. That was a dope looking setup. I gotta refresh. You can't lie. That looked sick.
That looks awesome.
Highlight of the video right there. Oh my god, that was beautiful. I swear, some of the shit you can come up with in this game is what makes it so fun.
Oh my god, you're right.
Ugh. But to be honest, I feel what a lot of people really don't like about this game is the cross combos. In fact, I've actually checked on some Reddit forums. Some people were actually turned off by the cross combo system and how important it became.
Yeah. People who don't know about cross combos, it's basically...
They basically get left behind, and that's kind of bothersome. I mean, yeah, it adds depth to the game, but at the same time, I feel like because of how important it's become to be good at the game, a lot of people just kind of felt like
Uh,
not pleased with it, and they
sorry,
weren't liking the game because of it as a whole. And I can definitely understand what they're getting at, because in my opinion, yeah, cross combos are a little over centralizing. But
oh,
in general, like, oh, I'm so used.
you say it's your name. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, no.
If I'm playing Noelle as a partner, I usually have Yuzu.
You gotta have... oh shit, go on, stop. No.
Nice. I thought you were gonna teabag me for a bit there.
No, I don't know like that.
But Carmines do it all the time.
I am this one I am that one Carmine that... Oh, whoa. That was dope what I just did. Oh shit, okay. I see you. I see you. That's a lot. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, okay. I see. Okay. Let's party and then...
That's a dead Azrael for sure. I didn't even have to burn the bar for it.
Okay, now can I help us in thank you?
Maybe not.
Oh, come on. That's bullshit and you know it.
Welcome to Noelle.
Oh my god. You know what it is for me?
But to be honest with you though, where do you stand on the whole cross combo thing about like how people are saying it over centralizes the game?
At first, it was, I never heard that cross combos exist. But then when you start looking at it through and through, it's kind of a big part of mechanic in the game.
Not to turn you up a little bit, but it's become a big part of the mechanics. And speaking of cross combos, we have probably the worst offender of it, Gordeau. Do you know how to do the bullshit? The active switch invul.
I think so.
The second you pop cross combo, you do B Grim Reaper and hit your switch out button at the same time.
Okay.
Like, just to demonstrate it, I would also recommend, this is also one of those cases where Gordeau would be on point in that case. Because Gordeau has to be the one doing the B Grim Reaper, and then you switch into the other character.
Yeah, but at the same time, I wanted to, I'm going to do that later on, probably on my own time.
But yeah, if I end up getting Gordeau, I'll show it off.
Yeah.
Under Heaven Destruction, hell yeah. So I get the Point God and one of the most bullshit assist characters.
Yeah.
This team is a perfect example of what I would call an esports team. Both of these are, actually. Wait, that missed?
Yep, that missed.
But yeah, that's what I'm talking about with how S can get so much for so little. Just off of that command grab, she got 8.4k just for 2 bars. So many characters in this game, I feel like, either if their assists are ones you can just throw out, if they have something similar to Toga, which is a bullshit resonance comeback tool, or if it's like Gordeau and they can just abuse the cross combo mechanics. Cross combos in general have become very centralizing in the metagame, and to some, over-centralizing. But to me, there's also the factor that you need to have a character with a ridiculously retarded assist.
Why did I pick this team again?
We're gonna start doing different team combinations at this point, so you can get off of double randoms now.
I mean, I'm gonna try this team, try this, and try.
Alright, I'm actually gonna show it off this time just so I can show what I'm talking about. There you go, like, these two teams, I personally prefer Blake for Gordeau over Ruby. Don't ask me why. Both of them are really good for just throwing the assist in neutral and setting up the cross combo bullshit. But in my opinion, Blake just has better range conversions, and that's kind of where Gordeau also complements.
Yeah, that's true.
These two are all about basically fishing for ranged conversions, and that's kind of like what I think makes this team so good. But you're about to see exactly what I'm talking about, because I'm gonna do it at some point in the match for sure.
How does hiding whatever having this interaction?
If that had actually worked, that would have been an example of what I was talking about. But that makes the Grim Reaper during that invincible.
Ow. Ow. What the hell?
I was expecting burst.
I gotta look into that. What?
You see what I mean?
How did... Nope. Ow. What?
That should be a dead hide.
Oh,
And that's it.
you literally saved the play. You could have died, man.
But that's kind of what I'm talking about. You saw what I did there?
Yeah.
That made the Grim Reaper completely invincible. That right there is something that Gordeau can exploit that only certain other characters can. Real quick before you say anything, I need to refresh. Hold up. Refresh. You were saying?
You could have tried to fake a die, man. You have to make this team work, though.
It's Gordeau. It's going to work.
You're right.
I'm going to play this team a bit more, but yeah. Now Hyde has a reason to play Labras. All I will say is, look back at the last podcast, which also had one of the weirdest moments we've ever had.
Yeah. It literally just booted out.
Spoilers! Like, I'm sorry, but what the fuck was that? We're keeping that in the video.
We are not repeating that shit, no.
There's no way we can repeat that shit. It's literally, it's almost impossible. That's why we're keeping it. But I'm sorry, but the second I saw this color, I switched off the penny color completely.
God damn it, Amanda.
Oh god, this team is so stupid. Oh, you almost had it going there. Really?
Yes, really. Ow.
Pop the cross combo?
No. I just... No. Ah. Ah, shit. No. Ah, fuck. Ah, shit. And combo button from pop and hit a beer.
No.
Actually, is that enough to kill?
It's not gonna be, but I want to get the axe going.
Oh. You gotta let me... Okay, hold up. I need it.
Fuck! That could have ended it right there.
Oh, that's right there for me.
Yeah, I am really liking Labras Easyoi. See, I'm the kind of guy who prefers not to pair characters with meta partners unless it really just does support that character. Like Tager with S.
Jesus Christ.
But in general, the fact that we see just so much of the same stuff within the metagame is what makes it stale to a lot of people, and to be honest, I have to agree.
Actually, I agree. I second on that. I mean, yes, we do like a lot of fun on this game.
There's a lot of fun stuff you can do in it, but when a lot of teams just are there for the same, pretty much most of the same reasons, it's kind of boring, to be honest. Like, we're completely contrasting in terms of our mains. Like, my team is very much unconventional as fuck. But, lo and behold, I make it work. And yours is more like a meta setup because Ruby is, well, really good as a point character, and Hyde is just Hyde.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's kind of like, holy shit.
Like, our teams contrast differently, completely, but we make them work.
Exactly.
That's the beauty of it all. That's one of the things I love about this game, but because of how the meta is, you're starting to see, like, very similar teams for similar purposes, and it's kind of boring. Now, there are just some teams that I'll just say, even for fun, don't work. Chie and Makoto is...
Okay.
Really? Oh, you fucking know. You realize...
Yeah, screw myself on that, yeah.
Fuck, I'm still not used to timing that.
That's probably a board out. Anyway, so. Pop resonance. That's the ladders.
That wasn't how I intended to do it, but I'll take that.
Really?
Yes, really. I really just did that.
Okay. Okay.
This might just be one of those pocket teams I play similar to World Yu-Gi-Oh! It's so stupid, but it's so fun.
If you're buying it, you hear it now.
And now that you have a reason to play Labras, holy shit.
You're gonna try it on me on time. But yeah.
Which you're gonna have to lab a lot, because Labras is a character I still have a bit of a hard time figuring out most of the time. The main thing I don't get is how to set up Chain Knuckles in the neutral. Let's see, there's one more that I was... You know what? Just to show what I meant last time.
Are you seriously?
Yes, I am.
You mad, man.
This team is just high damage and fast.
It's more of how it's set up, basically.
High damage and fast, and Blood Wheel Assist just helps with pressure. Am I the only one who really doesn't care for Rushing Heart?
Nope.
Like, it's okay. I just think there are much better songs in Undernight. I'm sorry. Oh, they have an interaction!
Yeah, you do.
Holy shit.
You didn't know that?
Never knew. I only just recently tried this out in training mode.
What?
That was beautiful.
Ah! That is off-putting. If you're done beating me up, I like to... Never mind. Shit. Ah! You actually did it.
That is so satisfying to land every time.
Oh, for sure. Good play, but not.
One sec. I had to refresh for a second there.
That's it. That's basically that.
You know I had to teabag you, right?
You're an asshole about that.
Yes, I am. You gotta admit, Makoto was doing shit there.
You're gonna put in work after that double distortion.
The second, like, she gets going, she gets fucking going.
Like, saying goodbye to your friends. Like, getting you to the fucking star.
Alright, we're slowly gonna be wrapping this up, but to be honest, like, what I feel makes the metagame so over-centralized right now is primarily just how cross combos work as a whole.
Yeah.
And I think we're only gonna have time for maybe 2 games this time, just because, again, my recorder's running low on time.
Yeah, that's fine.
But as a whole, if you want my opinion, like, on where everything stands, like, the game is still a lot of fun. I just think when it comes to the metagame, it's very stale. Because a lot of teams are built around the same stuff. Assists to throw out in neutral, and cross combos especially. And if you have Resonance level 4 come back, you're just good to go.
My thing, boys. We're doing this.
That's just my opinion, to be honest. But
yeah,
where do you stand?
very helpful when you learn to crush games.
But at the same time, they're kind of like almost too important, and that can actually turn people away from the game.
Damn it. First fixer.
This is a lot of damage.
Yeah.
I should just block and then wait to throw attack.
Nope, there's better you. Not this again.
You're lucky I dropped that.
Yes, I am.
Really, that missed? I tried to anti-air.
God damn it.
But yeah, what's your overall final opinion on the whole subject of like how the metagame's over-centralizing and the game itself is getting stale?
People just do better games. I mean, damn. Why? It's cool to have something you're good at and everything, but at the same time, you just need to figure out the team that you really want to do it. Make it something that's in the meta or in the know-how.
I mean, look at me. Like, I've been told many times to switch out Lene for an assist character that can do all that shit. And
And
I don't. I'm not doing it just because for me it would just not be as fulfilling or satisfying as a whole.
it really won't be fun at all if you do that.
Like, I tried Blake, okay, and it works, but in the end I just wasn't having fun with it, so my overall thought process on that was, okay, what's the point? And we're ending it with the song we started with. Ugh.
Oh, the irony.
God damn it. Now, if we had ended it with Unknown Actor, this would have been hype.
Yeah, would have been hype.
Oh, god damn it. Nice. Yeah, bursts aren't completely invincible, as I have shown many times.
Gotta fucking roll. Shit.
This shouldn't be death. Well, maybe it will be. It is.
That. No. Can I pop resonance? I pop resonance and I die.
It's as we've said before. It's as we've said before. Lene can be really dangerous.
Yeah, then I can.
But that's really about it, so we're about to give our final thoughts on this whole subject. Again,
People,
not like just people with the metagame, but do you feel like the metagame's getting stale?
Metagame's been stale since after Evo.
That is a good point. Ever since Evo and how Ruby Gord won it, everyone was starting to play the Japanese meta, which
Came out on top. It came to that point
where everyone started to play the Japanese meta. Also, if you hear anything in the background, my apologies.
it's fine. But people do tend to meta a lot, and
That's with every fighting game, and that's something we can talk about another time, but
yeah.
in general, like, with this game specifically, building teams around the same stuff makes it kind of boring. And to be honest, I feel like the game itself as a whole is getting stale just because we're seeing a lack of like team variety, character variety, etc.
Synergy.
Synergy is mainly what everyone focuses on, to be honest. But what I would like to see people do more is like explore with very unorthodox combinations and see what they can come up with.
Yeah, like try different teams out, see what they do, and see how they do with cross combo pressure.
You don't even have to do cross combo pressure if you know what you're doing. Like look at Wald and Yukiko. You don't see me doing that, do you?
Fuck that shit.
But yeah, that's basically about it. Next time, what should we be covering?
We should think how about cross combos?
We kind of discussed that with the whole meta thing.
Yeah, but
We can maybe like discuss in depth on the mechanics and maybe like what we'd like to see changed with it and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like in depth on the mechanics, how they work, because we were seeing them a lot beforehand in these matches, but we weren't seeing like a lot of like everything that it's capable of doing. There's so much you can explore with cross combos, but with that we're running out of time. So Sonic here,
I'm high.
and we'll see you guys later. Peace out.